Welcome everyone to Give AI. Right now, in cities across Asia, an invisible epidemic is unfolding. In Taiwan, 21% of 7-year-olds need glasses. By the time they turn 18, that number explodes to 85%. In China, Singapore, and South Korea, we're seeing the same pattern. 80 to 90% of young adults can no longer see clearly without correction. This isn't just about needing glasses. This is about an entire generation losing their natural vision at rates never seen in human history. And here's what makes this truly shocking. Most people think they know why this is happening. They blame genetics, they blame screens, they blame books. But the real reason? It's something so simple, so unexpected, that when you hear it you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you think about vision, health, and what we're doing to our children. Let's start with what everyone believes. For decades, scientists and parents have assumed that myopia, nearsightedness, runs in families. If your parents wore glasses, you'd probably need them too. The genetics seemed obvious, and the data backs this up, at least partially. Studies show that myopia has a heritability rate between 60 and 90%. That's massive. It means your DNA plays a huge role in whether you'll develop nearsightedness. So case closed, right? It's all genetics? Not even close. Here's the first clue that something else is going on. In 1950, only about 10 to 20% of Chinese teenagers were nearsighted. Today, that number is over 80%. Think about that. Human genetics don't change in 70 years. Evolution doesn't work that fast. So if genetics were the primary driver, we shouldn't be seeing this explosion. Yet we are. And it's not just China. Singapore went from relatively low myopia rates to having the highest in the world within 2 generations. Taiwan, South Korea, Hong Kong, the pattern repeats everywhere. This is a vision crisis that appeared almost overnight in evolutionary terms. So what changed? Most experts immediately pointed to the obvious suspects. Smartphones, tablets, computers, endless hours of close-up work. The logic seemed sound. Kids today spend more time staring at screens than any generation in history. Surely that's destroying their eyes, right? And there's truth here. Research shows that for every additional hour of screen time per day, children have a 21% higher risk of developing myopia. That's significant. But here's where it gets interesting, and where the mystery deepens. When researchers studied children who spent equal amounts of time reading books versus using screens, they found something unexpected. The myopia rates were similar. It wasn't specifically about screens, it was about sustained near work, any kind of close-up visual activity. Whether you're reading a physical book or scrolling through a phone, your eyes are doing the same thing, focusing intensely on something just inches away for extended periods. This constant near focus causes the eyeball to elongate slightly, which is what creates nearsightedness. So the real culprit isn't technology itself, it's the behavior technology encourages, but that still doesn't explain everything. Because here's another clue that researchers couldn't ignore. Children in rural areas of Asia who also attend school and do homework have significantly lower myopia rates than their urban counterparts. Same genetics, same culture, same educational pressures, different outcomes. Why? This is where the story takes a turn that no one saw coming. In the early 2000s, researchers in Australia started noticing something strange. They were studying myopia rates in children of Asian descent who had immigrated to Australia. These kids had the same genetic background as children in Asia. The same family history of nearsightedness, the same DNA. But their myopia rates were dramatically lower, not just a little lower, significantly lower. And the longer these families had been in Australia, the bigger the difference became. Children born in Australia to Asian parents had myopia rates closer to European Australians than to their genetic cousins back in Asia. This was the smoking gun. This proved that genetics, while important, couldn't be the primary driver of the Asian vision crisis. Something about the environment in Asia was causing this epidemic. But what? The answer was hiding in plain sight, or more accurately, hiding in plain sunlight. Researchers discovered that the single most powerful protective factor against myopia isn't limiting screen time. It isn't reducing homework. It isn't special eye exercises or expensive treatments. It's something completely free and available to everyone: time spent outdoors in natural daylight. Study after study confirmed the same finding. Children who spend at least 2 hours per day outside have dramatically lower rates of myopia development, regardless of how much near work they do. In fact, outdoor time is so protective that it can almost completely offset the myopia risk from intensive studying and screen use. But why? What is it about being outside that protects vision? This is where the science gets fascinating. When your eyes are exposed to bright natural light, and we're talking about the intensity of outdoor daylight, not indoor lighting, it triggers the release of dopamine in your retina. This dopamine acts as a signal that regulates eye growth. It tells your eyeball to maintain its proper shape instead of elongating into the stretched form that causes nearsightedness. Without sufficient outdoor light exposure, this protective mechanism doesn't activate properly. Your eyes literally grow in the wrong direction. Here's the kicker. It doesn't matter what you're doing outside. You don't need to be looking at distant objects. You don't need to avoid reading or using your phone. Just being in bright outdoor light is enough. Researchers tested this by having children do their homework outside versus inside. Same near work, same visual demands. But the kids who did their homework outdoors had significantly lower myopia progression. The light itself was the medicine. Now everything clicks into place. Why are urban Asian children experiencing this vision crisis at unprecedented rates? Because modern urban life in these regions has created the perfect storm for myopia development. Educational systems demand intensive studying from early childhood. High-rise apartments and urban environments mean less access to outdoor spaces. Parents, worried about safety and focused on academic achievement, keep children indoors. After school, kids go to additional tutoring sessions, then home to do more homework, all under artificial indoor lighting. Some children in major Asian cities spend less than 30 minutes outdoors per day. Their eyes are literally starving for natural light. The COVID-19 lockdowns proved this beyond any doubt. When children across Asia were forced to stay home for months, spending even less time outside than usual while increasing their screen time for remote learning, myopia rates skyrocketed. In China, studies showed that 6-year-olds who went through lockdown had myopia rates 3 times higher than children the same age in previous years. 3 times higher. In just a few months. This wasn't genetics. This wasn't even just about screens. This was about the complete absence of outdoor light exposure. But here's what makes this truly tragic. We've known about the protective effect of outdoor time for over a decade. Multiple large-scale studies have confirmed it. Intervention programs in Taiwan and China that simply added outdoor time to school schedules showed dramatic reductions in myopia development. One study projected that if Chinese children spent just 40 additional minutes outside per school day, it could reduce the expected childhood myopia prevalence from 60% down to 40% by 2050. That's millions of children who could keep their natural vision just by going outside. So why isn't this common knowledge? Why are parents still primarily worried about screen time and homework when the solution is so simple? Part of it is cultural. In many Asian societies, academic achievement is paramount. Suggesting that children should spend less time studying and more time playing outside can feel like advocating for lower educational standards. There's also a disconnect between what the research shows and what feels intuitively true. It seems obvious that staring at screens would damage eyes. It's less obvious that the absence of bright light is the real problem. And there's another factor, the myopia industry. Glasses, contact lenses, laser surgery. This is a multi-billion-dollar global market. There's not much profit in telling people to go outside more. There's enormous profit in selling corrective solutions after the damage is already done. Here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. The Asian vision crisis is almost entirely preventable. It's not a genetic inevitability. It's not an unavoidable consequence of modern education. It's the result of lifestyle choices that deprive children of something their eyes desperately need: regular exposure to bright natural light. The solution isn't complicated. It isn't expensive. It doesn't require new technology or medical breakthroughs. It just requires recognizing that human eyes evolved under the sun, and they still need that sun to develop properly. The children who moved to Australia didn't develop better genetics. They just lived in a culture that valued outdoor play and had the space and safety for children to spend hours outside every day. That's the difference. That's the entire explanation for why genetically identical children have completely different vision outcomes based solely on where they grow up. So, what does this mean for you? If you have children, or plan to have children, the message is clear. Outdoor time isn't optional. It's not just about exercise or vitamin D or mental health, though those matter too. It's about protecting their vision for life. 2 hours of outdoor time per day should be non-negotiable, as important as nutrition or sleep. And it needs to be actual outdoor time, not sitting by a window. The light intensity indoors, even near windows, is typically 50 to 100 times lower than outdoor daylight. That's not enough to trigger the protective dopamine response. If you're an adult who already has myopia, this information might feel frustrating. The eye elongation that causes nearsightedness is permanent once it happens. You can't reverse it by spending more time outside now. But you can prevent it from getting worse, and more importantly, you can make sure the next generation doesn't face the same fate. This is bigger than just vision. This is about recognizing that our modern indoor lifestyle has biological consequences we're only beginning to understand. We've created environments that our bodies weren't designed for, and we're seeing the effects in real time. The vision crisis in Asia is just one example. It's a warning sign that we need to pay attention to the fundamental needs of human biology, even when they conflict with our cultural priorities or economic systems. What do you think about this? Knowing that outdoor time could have prevented millions of cases of nearsightedness, does it change how you view childhood education and lifestyle? Have you or your children experienced vision problems that might have been preventable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your perspective on this. If this opened your eyes to something you didn't know before, hit that like button, share this video with parents, teachers, or anyone who needs to understand what's really driving the vision crisis, and subscribe to Give AI for more deep dives that reveal the hidden truths behind the headlines. This is Give AI. We give you the power. Now go create.